It's a new challenge. It's the Country Roads challenge. Let's get straight into it. Kill the boss walker, if you insist. So Maggie is our star hero. She gives you additional XP, which is really, really nice, but she doesn't help in combat. Nothing about her skill makes you more effective at actually killing what you've got to kill. So Yumiko, I think, is a perfect addition to the team if you're going to be using Maggie as your leader, which you should. You should for as long as you can to get the extra XP and to get the extra stars. Shane, I'm just bringing him along because it's one of my daily challenges. So let's get to killing a boss walker, shall we? Corn dog. So I think this. I think he's sort of hidden away. Wow, Maggie looks strange. Her eyes look like a vampire's or something. That's weird. Never noticed that before. Okay, so there he is. Or there they are. There's two of them. So something that you can try and do. Get them on fire. And then it doesn't matter if they retreat into the cornfield where you won't be able to see them. They can stay there if they want. They will still burn. Very simple. Kill the boss walker. Mission's over. On harder difficulties, it's, obviously the target is going to be tougher. There might be more walkers. Threat counter might flip around quicker. But I think that strategy that you just saw there, stand back, wait for them to appear, set them alight, I think that's probably going to work no matter what difficulty you're at. We'll have to see, but I think that's kind of going to be a very, very good way of doing it. Left to their own devices, the walkers just wander around all over the place. They will, go into your field of view. And if you can, I would suggest igniting them and then just standing back. They'll die eventually. Okay, pretty easy so far. Search the camper van and get out. Because it's a searchy one, and because it's Maggie as the lead, let's bring Stephen Yen along. Good old Glenn. Again, this isn't necessarily the greatest combination of characters that you could possibly have, but we're at a very low difficulty. Oh, okay, so we're... Oh, I remember this one. Yeah, this is an interesting one, so... I don't think we need to actually take active shooting actions. Of course, if you actually shoot, then... you make the threat counter go up. I don't really want that to happen, so use Overwatch. Okay, so this is a searchy one, but it's not searching crates or anything. Glenn's not actually that useful. Yumiko would be far more useful because you could stand near the ranged character who's opening the door. I suggest get Maggie to do that because she's not, the most effective in combat. Yeah, shoot with Yumiko and... yeah, the person who's opening the door will also fire. Oh, Glenn, mate, you got hurt. It's fine. So, yeah, Yumiko, definitely a very, very good choice of character to be joining this particular team. Oof. I do love using Shane. I used him in one of my last stands, which I'll put up probably tomorrow. Not the most effective leader, but he is fun. He really, really is. So that's handy to know. So usually on sort of searchy missions, Glenn can be very, very useful. He's really not on this. You may as well have 3 ranged characters, make Yumiko part of your team, have Maggie open that door. There is a threat counter, so noise is a consideration. But of course, you can get plenty of silent weapons or weapons that reduce the threat counter for ranged characters. So I don't know. See if you can get your hands on those. It's really nice to have some silent weapons and or ones that reduce threat on ranged characters. It's quite lovely. The nail gun, which I think is part of the seasonal event, that's silent. If you've got the Platinum Survival Pass, hopefully by now you've got that Blizzard machine pistol. That's silent. Bows, of course, always are. Find the loot and get out. Okay, we're going to bring Glenn along just... I think Maggie, Glenn, and Shane, that's a really interesting sort of setup anyway. Not quite as interesting as Maggie, Glenn, and Negan. That would be an interesting combo. Okay, so this one you are actually searching boxes. Yeah, so this time Glenn is actually an asset. Probably a good character to bring along just so you can get this done nice and quick. Threat counter. It's always frustrating when you're trying to search things and more walkers just keep on flooding in turn by turn. So make note, that one has a threat counter. Of course, you want to get at least 610 stars on the weekly challenge. That's the maximum amount of seasonal event tokens that you can earn through the weekly challenge. The rest of it you get through doing the distance, completing that with the distance booster active. Costs 400 gold to activate that each time. And of course doing the daily challenges like, well, you saw the one earlier, kill so many walkers with Shane. Not a problem, just get that done. And also get the tokens that are available from Trade Goods Shop each day. And you actually wind up with way more tokens than you actually need. So you can actually miss a couple of the challenges. You can miss a couple of the opportunities to get stars. I would definitely do, I mean, the distance with the distance booster, you get loads and loads of stars from that. 610 stars from the weekly challenge, just real easy to do. Daily challenges, well, I mean, you can hop on and you can play this game for 5 minutes a day and you're still going to make some meaningful progress towards goals and things like that. Spend more, you get more. But, okay, let's do this. Boom, lovely. So, plenty of missions with threat counters. Again, we got some noisy stuff going on here. Okay, Shane, you open that. Go on, let's finish him off. Fairly small, cramped map. If you have things like maybe bruisers with riot shields so that you can herd the enemy, that's pretty good. Warriors with maces where they can bash back walkers, make them stun themselves or other walkers around them, that's great as well. Assault character weapons with a large blast template, pretty handy. This is it's kind of a closed-in map. They're going to be coming towards you as well, so you want to do everything that you can to either affect clumps of walkers and or slow them down. The mission is to open the gate and get out of there. It's not to kill everything in front of you. So you don't have to kill everything in front of you. 2 more missions left, so count your blessings, search the back room and get out. Ooh, it's sounding like a job for old Glenny Glenn. Glenmeister General. That burnout rifle, it's just... how funky does that look? It's just so cool. It's a great weapon as well. I mean, it really is. Thanks, phone. Yeah, I kind of want you on fire. I don't really want to attack with anything other than... well, I was going to say attack with anything other than Overwatch, but I think that is worth... That's worth doing, definitely. Let's see if we can get a charge point for old Glenn. Nope. I think one more round of Overwatch shooting just to soften up that tank. Oh, there's another one. Okay, can we kill him? Yeep. I think that's worth doing just to injure that tank. So I can't remember if this is the one where we've got to open door and then come back. It might be. If so, this can be a challenging mission. And you want to tackle it in not really this way. I'm making a lot of noise. Being fairly inefficient. Let's just see. So we open that door, and then I think we might have to get back out of this church again. Yeah, that's it. So this is a tough one. On higher difficulty levels, it really gets challenging. You can have much tougher walker types. You'll have that threat counter ticking over every 2 turns or so. It starts to get brutal. Keep everybody as a squad. Have weapons that will slow walkers down. You might want something that's incendiary to get those tanks or big walker types on fire if you can. One of those ones where you've got to... You kind of want to not rush it because you'll get yourself in trouble, but at the same time you can't dilly-dally. You can't just hang around because you've got to get that door open. You've got to get out, and there's that risk that you'll get overrun. This is a tough mission. That was a tricky mission. If you do have any dramas, let me know, and either I or somebody else, I'm sure, can let you know what we've done to succeed with that mission if you're not quite getting there yourself. Okay, 520 stars, that's great. 560, we want to get to at least 610, obviously. Farmhouse, killer walkers, alright, okay, so this is like a bit of a palate cleanser. That's how I sometimes think of these missions. We just had some tough ones with lots of searching, interacting with stuff. Oh, it's also tricky, it's also, you know, whatever. But this... Okay, so, I mean, you could start adjacent to walkers. That's kind of freaky. If you do that, I mean, there's not much you can do about that. So this is one of those killer walker missions, which is, I hate to say it, maybe a little bit more in line with something like fish in a barrel than a typical one. So you're going to have to be able to kill walkers right from the off. They're all over the place. They're going to be spawning near you. This is tricky. You got a lot of challenges in this one. I think he should die to that fire. Even though we're on the lowest difficulty, this is, you know, they're spawning right next to us. I don't know what a great tactic for this mission might be. Must have faced it at some point before. Oof. There's blind corners as well. Tricky. Obviously, we're not struggling too much because it's on a very low difficulty. That's going to get tricky quick. I think maybe having some bruisers or warriors with maces to smash down those reinforcements that are going to appear right next to you turn after turn. That might be a good idea. At least you don't have to worry about noise because there's no threat counter. But I could see that being a tricky mission for a lot of people. Really good. If anyone's got any top tips or handy hints, obviously please do let me know. I'll pass them on to anybody who's struggling. And as we go along, I might see if there's anything specific that I can pick up when I'm doing that on harder difficulty settings. We're back to Corn Dog. Hey! Hooray! Alright. Interesting challenge, some quick missions, some tough missions, some stretched out missions, some slightly... that Killer Walkers one, it's a bit nasty. But hopefully you and your guild will do very well, and as ever, thank you for watching.